What's up, everybody? What's going on? Hope y'all are having an amazing week. Welcome to the Quickstart Webinar. Coach Noah here, and let's get down to it. Welcome to the Quickstart Webinar. What's up, everybody? Hello, Derek from Colombia. How's it going, my man? What's up, Nathan? Good to see you in here. Love it, guys. Love the familiar names, and I love meeting new people too. We'll take a poll here in a minute to who's new and who's been here for a little bit. Anytime I teach a class, like the Quick Start webinar, like the Accelerator course, or I give a talk, or even, you know what, guys, even when I'm sitting down at Starbucks, having a coffee, about to talk to a private money lender about doing business with us, we always talk about risk. I always talk about what could go wrong. I always let them know that, hey, I'm not an accountant, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a contractor, I'm not a real estate agent. I'm an investor, right? And so it's important that you guys surround yourself with those types of people. We talked about that last week on last week's call, right? So I'm a big believer in talking about risk and what could go wrong up front. So if you don't lend money, you can't afford to lose, right? And the whole idea around education and being on these webinars is to make sure that we know how we empower ourselves with the right questions to ask about the borrower, about the person, the investor, the right questions to ask about the deal itself, how to analyze numbers and all this stuff. There's a lot to it, right? I love private money lending. I love it. Where else can a person make a double-digit rate of return and have it secured by real estate worth much more? But at the same time, there's a lot to learn, isn't there? Right? So that's why we do these calls, and that's why we put together programs to help people stay educated and do. So, all right, cool. What's up? Hey, Noah, Nancy from Jacksonville, Duval is in the house. What's up, Carl from Huntsville? I was in Huntsville last weekend for a hockey tournament, and nice. You got a nice hospital there. My little guy ended up in the ER. Everything's okay, no broken bones. But Huntsville will always be in my heart as one of as a really scary moment in my life. Hello, Atlanta. What's up, San Diego? We got people from all over the place. All right, let's go, guys. Welcome to the Quick Start webinar. If you're just tuning in for the first time, here's the game plan. This is how it goes. We start at 1 o'clock Eastern time every single Thursday. This is the 27th Quick Start webinar that we've done. We keep it real estate. So if you're on this call and you're thinking, gosh, I'd love to use private people. I can't go to banks. I don't want to do hard money. It's too expensive. I want to use private individuals to buy fix and flip properties, rental properties, short-term rentals, Airbnbs, small multifamily, mobile homes, mobile home parks. You're in the right place, right? And if you're in this Zoom call because you love the idea of putting your money to work and have it secured by real estate, man, you're in the right place too, right? Because we got something for everybody there. Participation is encouraged, right? So a couple things to know. So like in the chat box, as you can see, I got 16 new messages in the chat since I looked at it last. Like the chat's blowing up, right? And that's a good thing. So here's my recommendation to you. Get your fingers ready, get them warmed up, right? Because, networking, this is how you network in the Zoom call, right? If you're on your phone, get those thumbs out, right? Participate in the chat. If you have any questions, or you need help enrolling in a program, or you need support, or you just want help, I have Jose Harkin in the chat box there, double J with the purple square. He's posting links, has the Private Money Club phone number there. If you need any help at all or any support at all, he's your guy. He can help you out, right? I might say, hey, Jose, put this link in the chat. This person has a question about this. Put the link in the chat. He'll put the link in the chat, and then bada bing, bada boom. You got your question answered for you. If you have a specific real estate question, a question in regards to something that we're talking about or teaching, please put it in the Q&A section. If it's in the Q&A section, I go through every 10 minutes. I'll stop, look at the Q&A, see if anyone has a question. If it's in the chat, I might not see it. All right, so post some questions. All experience levels are welcome. I know based off of the names and some of the relationships I have with you guys and ladies, what's cool is we have got people on this call right now that do real estate at a very high level, right? Welcome. I love that. I love that you're on here continuing to learn, network, and grow. And then we got some people on here that are brand new to lending, or maybe you're brand new to real estate. Let's take a poll. How many of you are brand new to private money lending maybe as a lender, or you're brand new to using private money lenders to fund your real estate deals. Just type it in the chat, say brand new. Let's see what we got. Love it, love it. All right, cool. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys. You know what's cool about that, Jose? Those people are here learning how to do this the right way, right? The number one bit of advice I can tell you guys is like, if someone else got it figured out, just copy them. In the real world, you can copy and paste, can't you? Right? In the real world, you can copy and paste. We can't, in schools, kind of growing up, you don't want to get caught cheating. You don't want to get caught copying somebody. But when it comes to business, if something works, go to the business owner, ask them what they're doing that works. They'll gladly tell you. That's the entrepreneurial spirit. That's what we all got. We'll share it with one another, and then you go out there and crush it, right? There's enough real estate for everybody. Who's experienced in this chat box? Who has already done a private money loan? Type that in the chat. I'm curious. 3 deals. All right, awesome. Good job, Ammon. Good job, my man. All right, what about on the real estate side? Anybody doing real estate actively? I know William is, right? Mike's working on his first deal today. 2 claps, Michael. We'll celebrate that. 5 deals. I love it. I love it. Great job, Dean. So we're going to have a good balance here, guys. We're almost at 100 people on the call. Watch this. In a minute, I'm gonna ask who's a lender, who's a borrower, and you guys are gonna be, especially if this is your first time on this webinar, you're gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. All right, cool. So real quick, here's a little info about me. I'm your coach. I do this session every single Thursday at 1 o'clock. My name is Noah Harris. I'm a real estate investor. I live in Columbia, South Carolina. I get on here and I teach from my experiences. I don't teach anything that I haven't done myself. Everything that I do, just know this, guys. These are, if I share a case study, like this is how it went for me. Like nothing's gonna be perfect or go the exact same way for me as it will for you, right? Real estate's unique, each deal is unique, right? But I'm gonna do my absolute best to provide as much education and content that I can in the next 50 minutes to help you and to empower you. If you feel like, hey, you know what? I'm really serious about this private money lending thing. Like I love the idea of doing this, but I really want some support. I want some help. I teach a class for Private Money Club. It's called the Accelerator Program. And if you click on the link that Jose just posted in the chat box, you can schedule a call with Jose to learn more about that, right? So if you want some more support, there's opportunities for that. My goal for everyone that I come in contact with on these calls is to help create a 100% track record with my borrowers and with my lenders, right? Or I should say with the people that I come in contact with, like from an education standpoint, right? In my real estate investing business, forget about all the deals we've done and money and all of that stuff. The most important thing that I'm the most proud of is the 100% track record with our lenders, right? That's what it's all about, and that's what I want for each of you. This is relationship based, right? So I'd highly recommend building relationships. That's how that relationship thing works. Once you know it, we got to get out there and have conversations with people. We got to surround ourselves with the right folks. Chris Naugle calls it the campfire. What type of campfire are you hanging out at, right? Who are you talking to? Like I know tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern time, Private Money Club, all of the Premier members. Hey, if you're a Premier member in Private Money Club, type it in the chat box. If you're a Premier member with Private Money Club, type it in the chat box. If that's you, tonight from 6 to 8, we actually have a coaching session that all the Premier members hop on with Chris, Steven, and the team, right? So make sure that you are signed up for that and that you're all registered for that. And those are the types of masterminds that you want to be a part of. All right. Okay, so this is the 27th week in a row that we've done this. So every week I try to put together a new quote, something motivational, something we can all learn from. And I always I'm a big sports fan. I like all different kinds of sports. And so I always try to take the week that we're at, find someone with that number, and then maybe there's something insightful that person said. Once you know it, not a lot of 27s out there. Not a lot of people rocking the 27. This is Ryan McDonough, though. He's a professional hockey player. Here's what I love about this Ryan McDonough quote. A man of few words. Took a while to find something that he said that I could use for you guys, at least publicly, right? And he says, hey, even myself, I always feel like I'm learning. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to grow as a player and as a leader. That's a Stanley Cup champion right there, 14-year veteran in the NHL saying, hey, look, I don't know everything. There's a lot that I can learn. And even though I might know something, I'm still practicing the fundamentals every single day, right? He's always trying to get better and improve his game. That's what we're doing here on these calls here, right? That's what we're doing here. So what are your goals? So every single session that we do, I'm going to get into some fundamentals, some best practices with private money lending, but I love asking this question. I get people all the time out there who are like, Noah, where are these private money lenders? Like, you use people, like, who are these people? Guys, this is not a mystery, right? Private money lenders are not some like secret organization that on the third Thursday when there's a full moon, they all come from behind the waterfall and start handing out money. Like, that's not how this works, right? Private money lenders are everywhere. Anyone and everyone could become a private money lender if you know how to present, if you know what to say, if you know how to say it, right? And you have good deals. So real quick, let's do a roll call. Let's do a roll call. Who are my borrowers? If you are a borrower and you are on this call, like, so you're a real estate investor, you've got deals. You're going to go out and start finding deals if you're brand new. Where are my borrowers at? Type it in the chat box. Type it in the chat box. Okay. Okay. I love it. You know, I love it. I love how William also said, kind of gave his phone number there. And I like how he said how many deals he's done and things like that. That's cool. I like it. I like it. Relationship based. Lots of borrowers. All right, cool. Where are my lenders at? How many of you are on here because you're looking to put your money to work and you want to make double-digit rate of returns on your money and you love the idea of having your money secured by real estate? Where are my lenders at? Boom, 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 boom. Love it, love it, love it. So it's so interesting to me. It's so interesting to me when I talk to someone who's like, I don't use private money lenders because I don't know any private money lenders. There's 30 people right there that just said, I'm a lender. I'm interested in lending, right? And what's cool is I know many of you are also probably like ready to go and ready to pull the trigger. Like, a lot of people within Private Money Club discover Private Money Club through the Money Multiplier or through Chris Naugle's educational videos on how to be your own bank and be your own banker with like the whole life policies and things like this, right? And what I found, especially with coaching and doing, a lot of people come ready to invest and they're excited to do. How many of you like followed that path? Like, you have an IBC policy, you have your own banking system set up, and you're just trying to figure out what your next step is. Raise your hand if that's you. Type me in the chat box if that's you. And what's cool is, all right, right on. And what's cool is I meet a lot of people who are ready to go, but they want to make sure they're educated in what they're putting their money into, right? Like, that's smart business. That's why you guys are on the call. Yeah, Andrew, Derek, Steve, Kirk, you say, yeah, that's me, that's me, that's me. Right? So you're in the right place, guys. You're in the right place. The money's there and the opportunities are there. Just a matter of, are you putting yourself in the right positions to be able to connect and feel good about the decisions that you're making, right? In the Private Money Club, that's what we do. I already did a Premier member roll call. You guys are going to be on the coaching session tonight from 6 to 8. Here's what I would do. If you're brand new to this call here, I would highly recommend creating a profile within Private Money Club. All right. So Jose, I'm gonna have you put the link up so nobody's messaging me after this webinar is over, like how to do this. All right. Because that always happens. So put the link in there. If you are brand new to this webinar, you've never done this before, and you're like, I need to get in the club, there's a free membership option. All you do, you register, create a free member profile, and then have Jose give you a demo of what that looks like, right? So Jose takes you by the hand, shows you around, gives you the VIP tour of the platform, right? Over Zoom or however Jose does it, right? To show you how you can leverage the Private Money Club to put your money to work or to borrow to fund your real estate deals, right? What does that look like? How does it work? Click the link. Click the link, schedule the call. Everyone on this call should be at a minimum a free member. If you're brand new and you're just discovering PMC, go create a free profile, have Jose give you a demo, right? And then when you're serious and you're like, okay, like I'm ready to make some serious connections, then go Premier, right? And you're off to the races. All right, so here's what we do on these calls here. We try to work on these four pillars every single week. Number one, credibility, right? Why is someone going to work with you? As a real estate investor, why would a lender pick you? There's lots of people that are doing real estate, right? What separates you? What makes the lender feel good about working with you and the decision that they've made to work with you as opposed to someone else, right? Credibility has a lot to do with that. As a lender, what makes someone want to work with you? What makes a lender credible? You know, it's interesting. A lot of people think just because they have money that credibility comes with that. The money's everywhere. The money's easy. The money's the easy part, right? It's picking who to work with. Whenever I post a deal in Private Money Club, I always get multiple people that want to fund that deal. But the next thing that I do is I look at their profile, I start having conversations with them, and I start asking myself, okay, who do I see myself building a relationship with based off of how they've answered these questions, right? I want to make sure that they're going to follow through with this, with doing deals, not just once. I like to do deals over and over and over with people, right? Very rarely do I do it's one and done, right? I want to find, and I believe that's because I find the people that have the same mindset that I do, that we're going to build a long-term relationship and we're going to grow together. We're going to build wealth together, right? The other thing is clarity. Many of you on this call are brand new. So it is important that you have clarity around the documents that we use, what keeps people's money collateralized, what keeps it, I guess you could say, safe, right? And understanding how the process works. And these are some of the things that education and you know, taking classes like this and taking courses like Accelerator help people with, right? And then confidence. If we have the first two, the confidence comes. Nobody wants to do business with someone that lacks confidence, right? Right? I mean, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but like I feel like you should be confident about when you're talking about what you do and what your business model is as a real estate investor. Like how do you know, if you had 30 seconds to explain to someone what you do for a living as a real estate investor, could you do it? And not just like I'm a real estate investor. It's like, okay, like what's your business model, right? So think about that. Think about that. You know, if you watch the movie, or if you watch the TV show Shark Tank, lots of people come out there with great ideas. It's the folks that are able to articulate their business model in front of the sharks that get the funds, right? When Mr. Wonderful's like, hey, what are the sales? How much does it cost to make? What are your numbers? What's the advertising per unit? Like he wants to know all of these things. And if someone can't articulate or explain to a shark relatively quickly their numbers and their business model, they're out, right? So real estate's the same, right? And these are things that we want to get great at, right? We want to get great at them. And then the community, you know, where are you putting your fishing pole? Where are you dropping your line? It's you know, are you like me where like your best thoughts come in the shower? You guys ever in the shower and you have like the greatest ideas? You know, every morning before I do these webinars, I'm always trying to think of like what to say, like what are we going to talk about today and things like that. And I'll share some advice with you. Like, have you ever heard the story, you know, when like, and I'm pretty sure this is biblical, right? Like I'm pretty sure Jesus said this, but I don't want to misquote Jesus. But you know the story where they talk about planting your seeds in good soil, right? As opposed to planting your seeds in the rocks. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a message, if you have something that you want to share with someone, their mind has to be open to hearing that message. You know what I'm saying? So like I'll put it in the context of private money lending. Like if I go to like my family members or friends, or maybe they're not, you know, like the business savvy friends or the real estate friend, maybe, you know, like maybe it's like my fantasy football team or something, right? Like my fantasy football club that I'm in or whatever. Those guys don't give a crap about making money and bettering themselves. A lot of them, you know, like God bless them. It is what it is. But if I go to like my fantasy football league friends and I'm like, hey, how many of you would like to learn how to make great rate return on your money and have it secured by real estate and da-da-da-da. I can't talk about that stuff with them, right? It's falling on deaf ears. I'm wasting my breath, right? But if I go to a place where people understand the value of what that brings, like the Private Money Club, like the community here, then those seeds, when they get planted in the soil, they're going to grow, right? They're going to grow. To be honest, what's crazy is I've probably done the elevator pitch 3 or 4 times since we've been on this call, right? How many of you would like to make double-digit rate of return, secured by real estate, worth much more, da 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 da? right? In Private Money Club, we don't necessarily have to nail that, because most of the people in the club, guess what? They already know. They already know. They love it. They love the idea, right? The first 10 years of my 10, 12 years of real estate investing, back in the day, I used to have to like have those tough conversations. I heard a lot more no's than I heard yeses. I would go to family, friends, real estate investor clubs, and and practice my elevator pitch, and I might have to have 20 conversations before someone was like, "Hey, that sounds like a good idea." Whereas in the community that you're in now, that's why I'm telling everybody in the chat box, like, get active. If you're borrowing, you got a deal right now that needs funding, put it in there. This is a safe place to talk about these things, right? And so don't ever take that for granted. Don't ever take the community for granted.
Your real estate business lives and dies by the network and the connections that you make. I mean, after all, your network, well, it's your net worth. That's what you always heard, right? If that's an area where you desire improvement, well, Private Money Club, it's for you. PMC saves you precious time and money by bringing the real estate world, well, right to you, right in the palm of your hand. So get in on the action, like so many others have, by going to privatemoneyclub.com and sign up.
All right, cool. So at every single session, I show this slide right now, and I show this slide at the end, because what we're doing here is planning for the future. We just talked about, I just gave you like a seed analogy. I'm gonna do another. Whatever you want to accomplish in the future, plant the seed right now for that to happen. So my wife and I last night, we just sat down mapping out our goals for, guess what, 2025. I'm planning for 2025 right now. So in my mind, I'm asking myself, how much money do I want to make next year? How many flips do we want to do? How many rental properties do we want to add to our portfolio? How much cash do we think we're going to have on hand that we want to put to work in private money lending? We're having these discussions today because guess what? 2025 is a lot closer than we think. In our business model as real estate investors, just to kind of like pull back the curtain on like what we do, we buy right now. So as soon as school hits, all the way up to Christmas, I'm buying as much as I possibly can real estate, because it seems like a lot more motivated sellers. The holidays, your traditional retail person isn't as active. For my real estate investor friends, do you guys follow that same mantra? Like, this is buying season for us. And then when spring comes and all the retail people are out there and they want to buy new houses, cool. Everything that we flipped is on the market, right? And we're rocking and rolling and we're getting premium dollars. So we got a plan today for the future, right? So I have some steps here, because the last thing that we want is for you to hop on these webinars and maybe it's entertaining, maybe you're learning something, right? The retention is over 100. So I imagine I'm not boring you to death, right? But the idea here is you're taking action. You're taking action. So there's some bullet points here. Here's what I would recommend. If there's something on this list that you have not yet done, okay, do it. If there's something on here that you have done or you plan on doing, cool. Knock it out, move on to the next one, right? These are only going to benefit you and help keep the momentum going. So today we're going to practice fundamentals, right? That's the second half. It starts in 3 minutes. We're going to practice fundamentals, what to say, how to say it, documents, things that we practice every single week. Practice it. Put it on a notebook. Watch the replays. Like, dive into this stuff, right? Practice what we're talking about here. And I'd even recommend videotaping yourself. Watch yourself practicing and watch how quickly you'll improve. I think one of the reasons why I'm really good at the elevator pitches, because I say it 10 times a day at a minimum on these webinars, right? And then lots of times I'm watching myself say it during the replays, okay? Number 2, create your PMC profile. This is so important. This is so important. If you are brand new to Private Money Club, brand new to the Quickstart webinar, you can create a free Private Money Club profile. And by doing so, schedule a blueprint appointment and a demo. Let Jose and the team take you on a tour, create your Private Money Club profile, and you're off to the races. There are some limitations between the free profile and the premier membership of like messaging capabilities and things like that. but you can poke around and you get the gist of it. And then Jose will be there to help you if you have any questions. Jose, put the link up there. People are messaging me directly, and I want to make sure that they go to the right place. All right, thank you. We'll also want to make sure that we attend next week's Thursday's call. So keep the momentum going. Hey, if you've been on this Quickstart webinar before, type it in the chat. Say me, or say I'm back, or I've attended it before. Cool. Watch how many people pop up. I think there's going to be a good amount, right? And consistency is the key. We got to stay sharp with this stuff, right? We got to stay sharp with this stuff. This is how we practice. We also have next month mobile home take action challenge. So my wife Christy, she's back here. She's the one hustling on the poster here. She teaches a class about how to lend on mobile homes and manufactured homes, and how to profit as a real estate investor on manufactured homes and mobile homes. That class is a 4-week class. It starts August 18th. Here's the thing with mobile homes. Good lessons. Good lessons. Something new every time. Thank you, Jody. Appreciate that. How do I register for her class? Jose can help you out with that. He can reach out to you directly to help you out with that. So with the mobile homes, as a lender, there's a huge opportunity here, because traditional banks and lots of hard money lenders are not financing manufactured home investment properties. They simply aren't. That is a huge opportunity for you as a private money lender to hop into a real estate niche that isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Housing is at an all-time high. The need for affordable housing is at an all-time high. In our market, just to give you an idea, and I'll teach you a few things here, like what we do. No, I don't look at advice and sharing things as competition. I know there's people in my market on this call. I saw Derek's name on here. I saw a bunch of other people from Colombia on here. This is what we do. So we like to find areas, manufactured homes, year 2000 or above. We can go a little older, but that's kind of like our sweet spot, on an acre minimum half acre. We want a little bit of land, right? In an area where it might be good schools, maybe it's a little further out, right? Where housing prices, most people might not be able to afford a beautiful new single family house, right? That might be in our area, it might be anywhere from 300 to 350. But if we can go in and completely renovate a manufactured home, make it look absolutely gorgeous using same materials we flip our houses, and come in and be able to price that at a 200,000 mark, that's $150,000 less than a single family house in the same area. I mean, when we flip these manufactured homes, boom, they're gone. They are gone. We're flipping houses right now. We've got one on the lake. It's going to be $1 million house. We've got one that we're flipping in downtown Columbia in a popular neighborhood. They're a pain in the butt. They're a pain. The houses, the single family stick built houses, when it comes to permits and all this stuff, all the stuff you got to do to make a buck, not worth it. Christy, is last night when we were planning out our goals, at the end of the day, we're like, we want to take a lot of our time we're putting into the single families and just do manufactured homes, because they're quicker, they're faster, we get them done quicker, they're selling just as fast, if not faster, than our single family houses. This year, we'll make close to $150,000 doing a handful of manufactured home investments. Right? How many of you would love to make an extra 6 figures this year and have it in a whole lot less time, effort, and money, right? And so if you're a lender, guess what? Price points are smaller. So if you're one of those lenders who are like, hey, I would love, I got 10 grand, I got 20 grand, I got 30 grand, I got 50 grand. I don't have $500,000 to do some of these private money loans that I see on Private Money Club. But, I feel like I should be able to do something with like 50,000 or less manufactured homes, right? Don't sleep on it. I know there's a lot of those posted in Private Money Club that you can go and check out. Last week, we talked about Derek. Derek just bought a couple of them for $4,000. He's going to remodel them and put them back on the market, sell them cash. Yesterday, no, was it Tuesday? It was Tuesday. My wife and I, we just bought a manufactured home in Sumter, South Carolina on an acre of land for $18,000. You guys, we're going to clear it out. We're going to clean it out, probably leave it as is. Just do a light little demo, and we're going to turn around. We're going to put it on the market for $40,000 or more. So the goal is make a quick $20,000 without having to rehab anything, right? That's the manufactured home game. And I'm telling you what, if you're like, man, I'd love to buy a manufactured home for 18 grand, but I don't have the cash. I promise you, there's a bunch of people on this call and in Private Money Club that would love the opportunity to do a private money loan for less than $20,000, and they'd probably be using their whole life insurance policies to do so. I'm just speaking from experience here and what I've been seeing as a client of Private Money Club and as an investor that uses them regularly. All right, cool. We got Money School Essentials coming up. If you're interested in the manufactured home stuff, hit up Jose. He'll be glad to send you the link to register and give you all the details. Derek says, hey, give me a call if you're interested. Hey, Derek, if you need funding, not that you need it, but what's cool is even though those mobile homes that Derek just bought for $4,000 or could buy for $4,000, I'm sure he could use his own cash. But how cool would it be for Derek to help someone out that wants to put a small amount of money to work at 10%, 12%, or 15%? I'm sure you could find someone. There's his email. Hit him up, right? He's a good guy, veteran, business owner. I will stick my neck out for Derek, right? And if Derek loses your money, Derek, I'm coming for you. No, I'm just kidding. He's an awesome guy and a good connection. That's why I keep mentioning his name. Money Take event. We've got an event going down in Charlotte. November 8th and 9th at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Money Tank. It's going to be awesome. That's our event. Shout out to this weekend. Hey, is anybody going to this that's on the call? I'm curious. We have a bus tour training going on in Atlanta. Is anyone going to the bus tour? Let me know if you are. I think there's over 20 people that are registered for this. If you're in the Atlanta area, Mike and Mike take you on a tour. Mike's going to be there. All right, cool. Love it. You're going to have an awesome time. There is no better human being in the world than Michael Puglisi and Mike Osborne. They're just great guys, great investors. You're going to love it. It's going to be a really fun time for you guys. All right, cool. So we're getting into the fundamentals. We've been practicing this. We're going to practice this some more. I want you guys to feel really good about this and being able to explain to people what's going on. Okay. So I like to teach out with the thought process of outside Private Money Club. So if I can teach you how to get people excited about private money lending and borrowing private money for their deals with folks who aren't in Private Money Club, when you get in Private Money Club, you're off to the races, right? So if I can teach you how to have conversations with folks who don't even know what private money lending is, that's like running in the sand. Right? You know how athletes sometimes go to the beach and they run in the sand because it's harder. And then when they hit the pavement, they're like 10 times faster. It's like because of the muscles they get worked out. It's the same thing. So Private Money Club's like hitting the pavement, right? So I'm going to teach you ideas and things to work on with complete strangers and people who don't know what this is. So that when you get in Private Money Club, it's just like, you're like Noah Lyles or something, right? You're off to the races, right? Winning the gold. All right, cool. So here we go. Traditional banks. So one of the things that you are going to encounter are people that don't understand why you're coming to them, right? So if you're a real estate investor, we're going to teach both sides of the coin. But if you're a real estate investor, you're going to have conversations with folks and they're going to be like, why don't you just go to a bank? Isn't there like hard money lenders that do this type of loan? Like, why are you coming to me? And lots of times there's lack of clarity and confidence around it because these opportunities aren't presented as investments or money-making opportunities to people, right? You can't walk into Wells Fargo and Wells Fargo is like, hey, how would you like to put your money to work in a mortgage and have it secured by real estate that's worth much more? Like why would they do that? They're not going to make any money off of you by doing that, right? So lots of times people don't know that these types of opportunities exist. So with traditional banks, right? So this is what I would tell someone. Someone says, hey, why me? Why are you coming to a person? Why don't you just go to a bank or credit union or something like that, right? And I might say, hey, look, well, banks traditionally have lower interest rates, right? The big thing about it is time. Number one, traditional banks probably aren't going to lend on fix and flip projects. They're not going to want to lend. They're in the business of doing retail mortgages. They're in the business of traditional home buyers setting you up and then selling your loan, right? So they're not necessarily in the business to help people like us as real estate investors. They don't want to take on the house that has boarded up windows, smells like cat pee, has a foundation issue, and has a tenant in there that hasn't paid rent in 3 months, right? For some reason, we love those houses, right? The more problems, the better. The more problems that a seller has with their real estate, the deeper the discount, right? So we love the problems. Bring on the problems. But traditional banks don't like the problems, right? They want to take that loan and sell it to somebody else right away, right? On the flip side of the coin, we've got the hard money lenders. I love hard money lenders. So please do not think that I'm anti hard money lending, right? I'm a big believer that if you are new to the business, there's absolutely nothing wrong with using hard money lenders until you built up your private lender database and connections, okay? So the thing that stinks about hard money is it's usually more expensive. It's usually more expensive, especially if you have experience. There comes a point in time where it's just not worth it. And from my lenders out there, they're like, well, hey, like I want to be expensive too. Like I want to make money with my money, Noah. And it's not just with hard money lending, what happens is it's not just the rates or the points, but there's also a lot of fees that are involved. And, they're going to want to see you have a significant amount of money, your own money in the deal, right? So a hard money lender might say, hey, we're going to give you the funds that you need to do this deal, but we're only going to lend you 20% of the purchase price. So if you're buying a $200,000 house, that's 40 grand that they're going to want you to bring to the table, right? Nothing wrong with that. Private lenders, you could do the same business model. Maybe that's one of your requirements, right? But that's more common with the hard money. And same thing with the draws. Like the hard money lenders aren't going to give you all the funds that you need for the renovations. They're going to say, hey, you do $15,000, $20,000 worth of work. Show us the invoices. We'll send someone out to inspect that the work was done on your dime. And then we'll reimburse you. And then it's in draws, right? Again, nothing wrong with that, right? But with private lenders, a lot of this stuff is negotiable and it's going to be more relationship based. So it's all about the time. So if I was talking to someone, they're like, well, why don't you use private or a traditional bank or hard money? I'd be like, hard money doesn't quite fit in with our business model, right? We like to hang on to our cash and use other people's funds if possible. And it tends to be a little bit more expensive and there's lots of fees. And with the traditional banks, they simply don't like to lend on houses that need work and they take a long time. As real estate investors, time is your most valuable asset. So if you're talking to a seller, the seller might say, hey, look, I've been dealing with this tenant. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I got, back taxes I got to pay. I need to move next week, right? I got to get this figured out. Lots of times people want to be able to sell their houses fast. They want that cash, right? Time and circumstance. So as real estate investors, we got to come in with cash offers or be able to compete with cash offers. And we got to be able to say, hey, look, I can close in 2 weeks. We can't close in 2 weeks with a traditional bank, but we can do that with a private money lender. All right. Cool. Good stuff so far. Type, oh yeah, in the chat box if you're still with me, 106 and climbing. This is awesome. You guys are doing great. All right. So what is a private money loan? What is it? So as lenders too, guys, guess what? You're going to want to teach people. You're going to want to teach people what private money lending is. The more people that you teach what private money lending is, the more people you can help, right? So I'm going to start out by teaching from a lender's perspective. Let's put on our lender glasses, okay? So our lenders, if I was a lender and I wanted to put my money to work, but I wanted to find someone really good to lend my money to, maybe I'd go to like a local real estate investor club. Maybe I'd go to a local real estate investor club, and I might ask the president, the person running it, hey, who's a real reliable person who does a good amount of business, has a good reputation, within your community. And he might say, oh, these two people over here, seem to fit the bill. Great. I might go have conversations with the people and try to get in with them. And I tell you what. A lot of folks out there, even though they know what private money lending is, they know about it, a lot of folks that are flipping houses and doing real estate are exclusive to either using their own cash or using a hard money to fund their real estate deals. So I might find these people and explain to them, hey, look, let me ask you a question. How are you funding your deals right now? Oh, I'm using such Carolina Hard Money, or I'm using Rehab Wallet, I'm using Coastal Equity Group, or those are some of the ones in our area here in South Carolina. And I might say, oh, that's good. Like, tell me, like, what rates are you paying? I'm just curious. What's the interest? What does that look like? And they might tell you, oh, I'm paying 13% and 3 points. So right out of the gate, if you now know what your competition is, your competition is charging 13% and 3 points origination fee. That's a 3% origination fee. What if you went to them and say, hey, how about this? Would you be interested in doing 14% and no points? Would you be interested in doing 13% and no points, or 13% and 1 point? If I could beat that, would you be interested in working with me? I'm a private money lender. Just like your hard money lending company, just like a bank, I operate very similar, but I'm a person. I'm not an institution, right? Now you're educating people on how to transition over into becoming your borrowers, right? Now, so for my borrowers, how do you talk to your aunt, to your uncle? Like, how many of you right now on the call? And I know Fern's like, yes, that's me, because she said it a bunch already. I remember. How many of you on the call right now have someone in mind that would make a great private money lender, but they don't know it yet? How many of you on the call say me in the chat box if that's you? How many of you know someone that would make a great private money lender, but they don't know it yet? All right, Steve, Christine, Jody, Andrew says, I think so, right? So if I was Jody, can you type in the chat box, is this family? Is it a friend? You don't have to get too descriptive here. Is it a family member? Is it a friend? Who is it? Coworker? Ah, yes, I love it. Oh, beautiful. Mwah. Jody, I would love to help you. I'm going to turn you into a private money lending machine, okay? Borrowing machine. So Jody says, I'm a nurse. I work with a lot of doctors. Doctors are absolutely perfect private money lenders. They are too busy. They live a very stressful, they got, important stuff that they're handling, right? They love the idea of setting it and forgetting it, right? Collecting the passive income, the mailbox money. This is a great opportunity, right? And if you went through your Rolodex of all the people that you've known over the years, I bet you we could put together a pretty good list together of potential private money lenders. And not just the doctors, but the nurses. Right? Not just the doctors, but the nurses, right? You guys work way too hard. You're always on your feet. You're dealing with a lot of stress, high level stress job. I'm telling you right now, like, you can help a lot of people, right? So when you start talking to your doctors and to the people in your Rolodex and your phone, you say, hey, look, it's not about the money. Okay. I'm gonna go a little deeper with you guys here today. It's not about the money and the opportunity. Before you can ask them for $500,000 or $200,000 or $100,000, whatever it is that you need to do a deal, you got to let them know that you're in real estate, right? Like, that can't be like out of left field, especially if it's someone that you know, right? So I would practice like kind of having this elevator pitch where you're explaining to folks like what your real estate business looks like. Jody, are you going to do rental properties? Are you going to do short-term rentals? Are you going to do mid-term rentals to travel nurses? What is it that your business model is? And then you start having the conversations with folks about the money, right? Let's say Jody's into doing mid-term rentals and she likes setting people up on 30 to 90-day leases, and her target market is travel nurses, and she's using furnishfinder.com and she's getting great rates by people. Okay, great. She has 24 doors. She flips them and she holds. So she's already in the business, right? So hopefully you're hinting and dropping hints to the doctors that you know that you're an active real estate investor. And what's cool, I bet you the doctors would say, man, that's really smart. I've always wanted to get into real estate. Am I right, Jody? Have you ever had a conversation with a doctor about your real estate portfolio and they said, gosh, I need to be buying real estate. I need to get into real estate. Has that ever happened? Lots and lots. Okay, cool. So what you need to do is you need to start following that up with a great question. So next time someone's inquiring about your personal portfolio, you can say, hey, it sounds like you're really interested in real estate. Why haven't you done that yet? Why haven't you done that yet? And I bet you already know what they're going to say, right? Time, circumstance, I don't know where to start. I don't want to be a landlord. I don't want to fix toilets, right? That's what they're going to say. It's going to be the same thing, right? They're too busy. Like, I don't even know where to begin, but they're going to want it, but they're looking to make a move. And that's when, Jody, you can come in and say, well, listen, what if you could still be involved in real estate, Doc? But you didn't have to answer the phone in the middle of the night. You didn't have to do any of the renovations, right? See, what I do and what I'm open to helping people like you do is I use private funds, individuals, right? I borrow all the funds that we need for the purchase price and the repairs, and I put their money to work at a really nice double-digit rate of return. And a person's funds are then secured by real estate, just like a bank, okay? Just like a bank. And when you say just like a bank, the light bulbs, the gears are going to be turning, right? These are real smart people that you're talking to. They're going to get it. People with money know what the deal is. They're going to get it. So then you say, all right, let me ask you a question, Doc. When you bought your house that you live in now, did you get a mortgage? They'll probably say yes. All right, great. So you got a mortgage. So when you did your closing, you signed a bunch of docs like this thick, right? Mortgage. You promised to pay back the loan. Before the closing, you called up State Farm, your insurance company, and you listed the bank on the insurance and got that over to them. Yes, 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 yes. Right? You got they pulled title and you got title insurance. Yep. We do the same exact thing for you. You're the bank, just like a bank. And watch, once you put it in context that they can relate to, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, like why couldn't I do that? Why couldn't I do that? So we're educating them, all right? And if you already have 27 doors, like this should be no brainer, right? No brainer, right? Which is awesome. So I hope that helped a little bit. But the only way to get better is to practice. So next time you're on your lunch break or something like that, go ahead and practice as much as you can. Okay, all right. Okay, this is good. So Jose says, hey, look, I've got a lot of people asking. Can you please let everyone know? We have the Money Tank event going on at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you're not first, you're last. VIP tickets are sold out, and the general admission tickets are going fast. So if you're looking to take your real estate investing business and lending business to the next level, I'm gonna be very frank with you guys. Like, you have to come to a Money Tank event. You will want to come to a Money Tank event. The Zooms are nice. Coaching is nice, doing it in this format, but there is absolutely nothing better than in-person handshakes, meeting people, hanging out. Those are some of the best relationships and conversations that you will ever have. The first event that I ever did with Private Money Club was down in Mexico, and I made some best friends that weekend and some great business relationships that weekend that I simply would not have made over a Zoom. So if you are interested, Andrew, I'm going to have Jose put the link in there. Jose, did they go to the same link to buy those tickets? Yeah, and William says Money Tank is the best investment I've done in my real estate career. And I think William went to the one in Salt Lake City, if I'm not mistaken, right? So this is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte's an easy flight if you're coming in from out of town. I think that's one of the reasons why they picked it. So yeah, I would get there. It's a super cool venue. If you want to buy a Money Tank ticket, click the link, call them, and Jose will, reserve your seat. Just so you know, every seat's good. Like, so there's VIP sold out, but like every seat in the venue is a good seat. It's at the media center. So like after the races, the NASCAR races, where like the drivers and stuff go to like have their interviews and stuff, that's where our event is. So it's pretty epic. Definitely gonna want to go and check that out if you're in the Carolinas, 100%, because you can just drive there, right? So go grab your tickets. Christy and I will be there. Show me the money. So once we get we got 6 minutes. Let's finish this elevator up, okay? So once we're able, Jody, to communicate that we do things just like a bank does, and they've already done this before, they just didn't know it on their own home, but now they're the bank and not the borrower, people are going to be curious, right? You just told them we pay a great double-digit rate of return. They're curious. So as a borrower, as a lender, let's figure out what you're going to pay someone. Let's figure out what you're going to charge someone. So as you start having your conversations, it's not wishy-washy. This is something you can talk about up front. I like to give a range. I like to go from 8 to 12%. I promise double digits. So I want to make sure in my examples of what we pay people, it's double digits. But I also let them know, hey, each loan opportunity is unique. I tell them it's unique because there might be deals where I pay a little less, and there's certainly deals where I could afford to pay a little bit more, right? But the optimism bias is going to kick in. That's optimism bias. Like, so whenever I say 8 to 12%, immediately people are thinking 12%, right? And they're thinking, I'm telling you, well, if you're talking to the doctor, try to be careful where you have these conversations, because the last thing you want is the doctor to be in the surgery room doing his or her thing, and they're slicing someone open, and the whole time they're thinking 18%, 15%, 12%. They're going to be thinking about what you just told them, right? They're going to be thinking about that interest rate, right? They're going to become obsessed with it until you have time to talk out of the hospital. All right. So have your money lined up. These are some of the things that we're going to mention to solidify that we do things the right way. Now, this is not an end-all be-all list, okay? In Accelerator last week, we talked about some other items that should be on here too. If you're thinking about lending or borrowing, it's not going to stop here. But this is like the core, like when we're talking to people to help them realize that it's just like a bank and that the loan is secured by real estate. This is how we do it, right? With these documents here. Once you decide that we're practicing the elevator pitch, once you take it from elevator pitch to one-on-one interview or meeting, then you can get into the nitty-gritty of all the other cool stuff that you offer, right? So promissory note, mortgage or deed of trust, personal guarantee, and insurance, right? Every single time, this is what we do. This is what we provide to our lenders. As a lender, every single time, this is what you require if you are lending funds. All right, cool. And then of course, we got to do this step here. We've got to record it. So after closing, once you have the mortgage and the promissory notes and you have all your paperwork, the attorney is going to record the mortgage note, the mortgage deed in the county. In some counties, it's done online, takes 24 hours. Some of the more rural areas might be, a little bit slower, but we have to get it recorded. We have to make it public record that we have a loan, right? We're the lender. We have a loan. We've tagged this property. This property cannot be sold or refinanced without us making sure that we get our money. Okay, this is a big step here. Big step. All right. I got a couple questions. I'm going to get to them in 1 second. Again, so where else can a person put their money to work and have it secured by a piece of real estate that's worth much more? Where else can a real estate investor borrow all the funds that they need, purchase and renovation costs, without having to go to a traditional bank, right? Which is awesome. How can we, great question. How can we get more information about items 1 through 4 that you provide to a borrower? How can we get more information? Well, so here they are, right? Number one thing that we're going to want to get, Shannon, is a real estate attorney on our team that's going to be conducting our closings, drafting our documents. Now, if you're a lender, you're probably going to want to have a real estate attorney on your team that can look over stuff for you, maybe even prepare some of these items for you. What I found is within Private Money Club, lots of times you might be lending to some, like if you live in North Carolina, but I live in South Carolina, you're probably going to want to use something that's South Carolina specific because that's where the investment property is, right? So what I do for my lenders is I introduce them to my real estate attorney that's doing the closing and the title work, and I let them know that, hey, my lender needs a mortgage drawn up. She needs a promissory note written. I handle the insurance. I get that set up by calling and getting what I need there, right? And the personal guarantee, the attorney drafts within the promissory note. So like my attorneys handle it for my lenders, but as a lender, you should probably have someone back at your hometown that can overlook things and make sure nothing seems off, if that makes sense, right? So hopefully that, and by the way, real estate attorneys, this is what they do this single day. So if you need help finding a good real estate attorney to do your closings, call up a bunch of people, say, hey, look, I'm going to be doing private money loans. I'm going to be buying these houses with private money funds. I might need someone to draft a mortgage, draft some promissory notes for me. Is that a problem? And any normal attorney should say, no problem. We do this all day, every day. That's what we do. If you feel like there's some hesitation there, or some wavering a little bit, maybe you pick up the phone and call somebody else. All right. This is how I leverage Private Money Club. I post the deals. I post in the forum. I send folks over to my website, have them get on my calendar to schedule a call. It's that simple, right? None of this is going to transpire if we don't start having conversations with people, right? We got to start having conversations. We got to start building relationships with folks, guys. That's what it's all about. So here's the list here. Pick one or two. Nothing crazy, right? Schedule a call be on the call next week. Reach out to Jose. Get on the phone with one of the PMC team members. Buy a ticket to the accelerator course. Buy a ticket to the Money Tank event. It's going to be an awesome time. It's going to be an awesome time. Quick questions. What's a good structure for a business like this? You know, I'm not a real estate attorney. I'm not, licensed to tell you this is what you need, an LLC or an S corp or this, that, or the other, right? What I can tell you is that I have an LLC for my real estate investing company, because no private money lender should be lending to an individual from what I've experienced, right? If you go to all the hard money lending company websites, it'll say right on their website, we do not lend to people. We lend to LLCs, S corps, trusts, and things of that nature. And a lot of that has to do with lending laws. They want to make sure that they're not breaking any lending laws. If you want to look more into that, you can Google the Frank-Dodd Act and read that. And that's designed to help keep consumers safe. These types of loans are for investments, commercials, real estate, things like that, right? And you can consult with your attorney if you want more information about that. Hey, great point about creating a full profile. There are a lot of people I've wanted to connect with from these calls, but their names are not searchable on PMC. Told you, right? Get it done. Make your profile your full name. It's not a screen name or a nickname. Be found. Thanks. Yeah, you don't want your profile in Private Money Club to look like a scam. You don't want your profile in Private Money Club to look like if someone talks to you, they're going to get an email from an Algerian prince that, congratulations, you just won the lottery, which is a lot of people in Private Money Club. So thank you, Jennifer, for pointing that out. If you're going to create the free profile, take the time to do it right, because otherwise people are just going to dismiss you as not being serious, right? And so if you're serious, take it serious, right? Great advice, Jennifer, as always. So guys, it is 2:02, time to pick up the kids from school. I hope you learned something today. Click that link right there, get a PMC profile, fill it out, start connecting, start making some real connections, and I will see you in Charlotte, November 8th and 9th. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good one.